another process video. Today I'm going to start this video or this layout by using this star wood veneer, and I'm going to go ahead and heat emboss it. Right here I showed you a white powder and also a sparkly powder. Although, when I apply this white powder, which I thought was white, no, Becky, you need to read the thing. It is not white, it is clear. So when I heat emboss it, it just comes out being the shiny wood veneer color. So I'm going to go ahead and dump that all over it. I'm going to put the excess back into the tub and start heat embossing it by applying my heat tool to it. And as you can see, when the embossing powder melts here, it is still the wood color. So I was kind of like, hitting myself on the head for that. So I pulled out this Wow embossing powder that is actually white. Right here I just took my heat tool and remelted the clear, and that's what I'm going to use to adhere the white. So I go ahead and put the white down on top of that clear, and then I'm going to tap that off and go ahead and heat and melt that. So after I do the white, I go ahead and melt it again with my heat tool, and I am going to use some silver, kind of a sparkly, glittery color, and it doesn't come up or come out on film or even in the photos that well, but in real life, like it's in front of me right now and I can see my craft room light sparkling off of it. It's very pretty. I don't know where this embossing powder is from. I think I had gotten it in a D-stash because I used to buy D-stashes quite a bit. I really enjoyed them. I still do enjoy them, but I'm trying not to spend so much money now. So I'm going to go ahead and heat the sparkly silver glittery embossing powder, and see right here I went ahead and did a close-up on it and you couldn't really see. I thought you might be able to pick it up, but you can't really. So I went ahead right here, I'm showing you these film strips or single film strips I had cut out off of my silhouette, and I think it's a cut file that I had purchased at the Silhouette store, and I'm going to use those to frame my photos. Now when I printed these photos, I thought I was printing 2x2, but I wasn't. I was printing 2x3s. So it was kind of an awkward size for this film strip, these film strip frames to be, but I just went ahead and went with it so I wouldn't have to reprint those photos. So as you saw, they weren't connected. Now I could have connected them in the Silhouette Design Studio software, but I did not. I just went ahead and printed 3 separate ones. Right here I'm laying out a few of these snowflakes. I got these at Michael's. They were 80% off of Christmas, and they're like these little felt snowflakes, and they all have a dimensional adhesive backing behind them, and I think that's what I'm going to use. They were 80% off, so it was like, I don't know, 30 cents a pack or something. So I've got, the packs were multicolored, so I just pulled out all the white ones to use some of those. Right here I went ahead and thought, well, maybe I might want a little more color on this layout. So I'm going to back it on this wood grain paper, and I use Scotch adhesive, which is Scotch tacky glue. So I went ahead and used that. So once that dries, you are not going to get that paper off the bag. I'm going to go ahead and trim this up with my trimmer. Now, I don't know if you've noticed this over the past several videos, but I have like 5 trimmers. This one kind of leaves the edges a little fuzzy, but for me, it is the most accurate. On the other ones, I can't tell where I'm getting ready to cut. I've not figured it out, so. Okay, so I went ahead and put this down on that page, and immediately I was like, no, that looks horrible. So I'm going to go ahead and just trim off the film strip portion of this strip, and also the top and the bottom to get rid of that wood grain. Once I put it down on that paper, I decided I did not like to have that wood grain on there. It just did not look very nice to my eye. Now, perhaps if I would have left that star a wood veneer, it probably would have looked okay, but because I heat embossed it and it's white and glittery and sparkly, it did not look good at all. So basically that background paper is the only paper the only pattern paper that I'm going to use on this layout. And I don't know if I said this, but that is a gather paper, and I don't think I showed you the branding strip on it, but it is a Maggie Holmes gather paper. So right here I am putting glossy accents on the back of this wood veneer, and I'm going to kind of lay it down a little bit at an angle. I tried to keep about a 1/2 inch on the left side where that star points out, and then when I lay down these 3 photos, the top right corner of those is about a 1/2 inch from the edge. So on this photo, I'm going to have to pop it up on some foam tape because it's going to lay over that star. So right here, that's what I'm doing. I'm applying the foam tape to it, and then I'm going to lay it down right there. And then the 3 photos also are going to need to be popped up on some foam tape. And I'm going to lay those at a little bit more of an angle. I have no idea what I'm doing here. Sorry. Oh, I'm putting more foam tape behind the photo where it wasn't laying on the star because it was kind of drooping a little bit. So I would just went ahead and put some more foam tape underneath there so that it wouldn't be droopy. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the stars back, or the snowflakes back where they were, about where they were. Right here is my title. I'm pulling it out. It says Merry Christmas Baby, and that is a thickers, and it is the Rockabye font, which I also didn't show you, which is abnormal for me because I usually show, but this time I didn't. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down that photo. I am putting Mary on the photo and then Christmas Baby underneath. I do use my T-square ruler to get it, try to get it somewhat straight, but we are talking about me here, so that's probably crooked still. I'm going to go ahead and start sticking down these snowflakes. Now, the dimensional adhesive that was underneath them, it wasn't very well adhered. Some of them were kind of trying to pop off. So in some cases, I just pulled them off and used some of the Scotch foam tape that I had purchased from Amazon in that big old huge roll. So some of them I used that, and then some of them I just added a little extra adhesive to the dimensional dot that was on the back of them. See, this is the one I added, one of the ones I added a little bit of the Scotch foam tape, and I added double layers because it seemed like it needed to be just a little bit higher because of the photos and stuff. I am going to put a couple extra pieces of the foam tape underneath some of the snowflakes that seem to be drooping a bit. I didn't really care for that effect. I wanted them to be up, and I did go around the page and try and bend up some of the corners of these. Right here I went ahead and pulled out, nope, I didn't do that. I have no idea what I was just now doing. Oh, I'm putting down 2016 right there by that star, and it's the same font. I usually almost always put the year over on the bottom right, but this time I went ahead and set it up, nestled that in that on the arm of that star. So I went ahead and pulled out these little sequins. They are iridescent, and I'm going to scatter those around the page. And also in the same sequins box I have, these sequins have got to be, I don't know, 20 years old, 15 years old. They're pretty old. So I went ahead and pulled out some stars as well. Now I wanted to, the first stars I pulled out were white, and those are the ones I wanted to use, but I only had 3 of them, and I wanted to use more than 3. So I went ahead and did use those 3 white stars, but I also used some iridescent stars as well. And I'm going to cut away here in a second so I can glue these down. I did not want to keep that in there. I'm trying to make the scattering look a little bit random, but I don't know if it does. It is very cute though. I don't know how random it looks. After I glue these down, I am going to pull out some Heidi Swap Color Shine in white and kind of give that a little bit of a splatter. And I shook it up real good. And the thing with this is it gets foamy. So it didn't want to come off the nozzle because it was so foamy. And then when it did come off the nozzle, it made this big splat that looked like a big piece of French fry grease. It is bad. And I don't know if you can really see it. I just wiped it up with my finger. So I went ahead and put that away, or put the lid on and put it aside, and pulled out the dilutions. The dilutions comes out just a nice crisp white. It doesn't have any of the shimmer like the Heidi Swapp Color Shine, but I'm okay with that. I'd rather have no shimmer than the grease look any day. So I went ahead and pulled this out, and I am going to splatter that around the page. I just put a stamp on there. That's a pack with a stamp in it, and I'm just trying to protect the photos a little bit so I didn't get a little splotch on Bentley's face. And I didn't mention that. These are photos of my great nephew Bentley, and this was his first Christmas. Right there, I went ahead and pulled out another one of them stars to put over that big Heidi Swapp grease mark. And then I also wanted to put some more sequins on there to kind of tie that star into that right hand cluster of sequins. So that's what I do. After I do that, I don't do anything else to the layout, except I do pull the dilutions out and put just a little bit more over on that upper left side, and I think maybe a little bit above the right hand photos. But after that, I don't do anything else to the layout. So thank you so much for joining me. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.